Sounds good.
I'd love to see you, man.
Well, this is.
I mean, in person, that is. I mean, I'm saying,
Yeah.
and without the glasses.
All right. Let's get to it.
All right.
All right. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is wufreacts. I am Woof.
I'm abillifree.
And today we have two guests, not one, but two.
Yeah.
Number one is LadyWUF.
Hello.
She's also a antitrust attorney. She does high-powered antitrust stuff in the daytime. I still have no idea what it means, but if you don't trust anybody, she's your girl. And our second guest is Ayman Samman. He is my friend, first of all. He hails from Egypt, based out of Hollywood, California. He's a professional actor. You may have seen him in quite a few movies, and he makes his own movies too. The best movie that I've seen him in is The American Sniper. That's not all his work. He's done quite a lot of stuff. There's a link underneath you can click on and check it out, and you might even have recognized him at one point in time. So that's it. Have a nice day. All right, so without further ado, today we're going to take a look at the second last song of season 15, Coke Studio, Pakistan. It's called Piya Piya Calling, and it's by a number of people. Is a Norwegian band called Karpe. There's a Pakistani singer, Kaifi, Khalil. There is another Norwegian artist of Persian origin, Amanda Delara. And then there's a Norwegian dance troupe in there too. So turn the captions on, Ayman. And it's because it's in so many languages, I've been told that every time the language changes, the font changes so you could tell who the fuck's singing what. So
Okay.
It's like the lyrics take up the whole screen, so you don't actually see the video. It's just Norwegian, Punjabi.
I don't think there's any Punjabi in here,
No.
but we'll check it out. All right. So without further ado, 3, 2, 1, play.
Coke Studio, Season 15.
Jeg sitter i en eller to, en to kan ikke redde deg, Dele ko er noe rett på noe, min dronning ikke vet det på klok. Jeg sitter i en eller to, min dronning ikke vet det på klok.
Piya piya calling, Shravan gujre tuj bin, tara vina eklo chuaiya, Piya piya Norway, galiyon ne kahi de, ghar sudhi rasto tu le ja, Piya piya calling, and he had a good advocate, spilling it all over focus, suck. Piya piya Norway, baby that hit on bogging, all I heard about sin du forsvann.
Jeg sitter i en eller to kan ikke redde deg,
Man du sa blod
Men broren min ikke vet det på klok.
قالوا أجنبي أنا مالي بحلم بيك قالوا لي أنا أجنبي قالوا أجنبي أنا مالي بحلم بيك أنا مالي أنا Piya calling, Piya calling,
Piya calling. Jeg sitter i en eller to,
أنا مالي
जब तेरे शहर से गुजरते हैं, तेरे दीदार को तरसते हैं, तेरी तस्वीर को लगा के गले, तेरी महफिल से हम निकलते हैं. क्या तुझे याद है तेरा दीवाना, तूने इश्क किया या नहीं पहचाना इस गम का नहीं कोई हर जाना तुझे आना नहीं अब ये जाना कैसा तूने यार बनाया चाहने तेरी खूब नचाया बिया बिया जानम मन इश्तगन तई वदारा तई हुस्ता मन बेकरारा बिया बिया जानम मन इश्तगन तई वदारा मद दर्द तो ये दिलारा
أجنبي أنا مالي بحلم بيك قالوا لي أنا أجنبي قالوا أجنبي أنا مالي بحلم بيك أنا مالي أنا مالي أنا بيا calling بيا calling calling بيا calling calling يا سيدي أنا بيا calling calling أنا مالي أنا مالي أنا مالي दिल धड़कने दे दिल धड़कने दे दिल मेरे दिल धड़कने दे दिल मेरे दिल धड़कने दे दिल मेरे
जानम जानम बिया बिया
दिल धड़कने दे दिल मेरे
जानम जानम जानम
दिल धड़कने दे दिल मेरे दिल धड़कने दे दिल मेरे मेली 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 बिया calling बिया calling calling बिया calling
يا سيدي أنا
बिया calling calling أنا مالي أنا مالي أنا مالي
All
Well,
right.
that was an ensemble cast.
Yeah, it's so the Norwegian group is made up of, they're the biggest band in Scandinavia, apparently.
Karpe.
Yeah, Karpe. The one guy is of Egyptian origin, as you could tell,
Yeah.
Mehli and Mehli.
Yeah.
And the other guy is of Indian origin. And the other big artist from Norway, from Scandinavia, is Amanda Delara. She is of Persian origin, Iranian origin. She snuck some Persian in there. I saw that in the beginning. So the song has like Norwegian, obviously. There's Persian. There's Urdu. There's Balochi.
Gujarati as well.
And Gujarati. Yeah, one of the Karpe guys was singing in Gujarati, which is an Indian. Mostly
English.
Yeah, and obviously English too. So it's like 6 languages in there.
Arabic.
And of
Oh
course,
yeah, Arabic, of course.
Yeah.
Egyptian Arabic specifically, very specifically.
Yeah.
6 or 7 languages. Jeez.
Wow. It's very impressive how flawlessly it flew with all the languages, and it's like the ultimate definition of like what a small world we live in. Like, you know, all these people come from different places, but they all get like met in Norway. That's
Yeah.
already insane.
Well, this all was recorded in Pakistan, in Karachi. So like I think I was watching the behind the scenes, and it all started with a random, like, one of the dance crew people just stumbled upon
Quick style.
The quick style
Yeah.
folks. They stumbled upon one of the season 14 videos, and they were just vibing to it, and that clip went viral. And then they started working with Coke Studio Pakistan. It's a massive platform, right? So artists know of it, whether you're big or small. All artists know it all around the world, apparently. And then QuickStyle, they invited Karpe, and Karpe was like, yes, we'll do it. And that's kind of how it kind of connected. And what's interesting is, like, I think it's interesting that you mentioned that, you know, it kind of flowed so flawlessly. I think the magic of what they do at Coke Studios, their job, they take it very seriously. Their job is to preserve culture via music, right?
Mm.
They take the artist's current vibe, like whatever they're doing, and they don't change it. They absorb that into local cultures, right? So that it shows, I thought. So
Yeah, I mean, like the obviously the authenticity of each singer is there because like each one applied, their heritage in the song, whether it is language wise or melody wise, but it all like blended, so nicely. I mean, I feel like that's really why I loved music is, growing up is this music is just it's a language. It's in its own. So you don't really need to like a lot of times you love a song without even understanding what they're saying, just because like the music hits you on a soul level, on a guttural level, without words, without I mean sometimes when you understand the words it's even better, but like, and sometimes when you understand the words you're like, I wish I didn't, but but the music itself is really what resonates with us on a human level that's beyond, like on a subconscious level, I think.
yeah. Thoughts? Adding on.
Oh yeah, I can go on and on about this one.
Yeah, go for it.
I think this is maybe my favorite song of this season from Coke Studio, and I just love everything about it. I love that in my head, I don't know if it's true or not, but I think that Quick Style is, I feel like they're the kind of the glue behind this. And I think they are, in the sense that they're the ones who connected with Coke Studio, then connected Coke Studio with all the other Norwegian artists. And I forget how long it's been since, Quick Style made it really big. I mean, obviously they've been a dance crew for a while, I think over a decade, and dancing and kind of evolving and doing different things and collabs and stuff. But I love them. And I think also as like a European brown person, like the Swiss Pakistani, and seeing them being Norwegian, but full of so many different ethnicities and backgrounds and languages. I mean, their group has a number of them, and every time they do or they choreograph a song to I mean, it feels like they're singing the lyrics, whether or not they speak the language or not,
Yeah.
It could be. And I think they've done a bunch of, I know they've done some K-pop choreography, Bollywood. So they've become quite big, and I love it. I love them.
So being an antitrust lawyer, you could say they gained your trust.
Yeah. I guess so. I mean, at least they gained a fan. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Billy?
I like that. And I recognize that Zulfi and all of the other producers used Quick Style as an instrument, because in the beginning of the video, I'm like, okay, where's the live instruments? And the live instrument was actually the Quick Style. They provided a lot of movement. They provided the accompaniment to the singers. And then at the end, I liked how they sort of incorporated the live instrumentation. That the woman who's always playing percussion, she was in there. I love that they often spotlight her. And then I also want to shout out the keys player. They just did like a shot of him, and he was like so very much in it. I assume that he's Norwegian. He had a huge Santa Claus beard. But I like that. This one was interesting because I want to know, who is Piya, if it is indeed a person. And connected to that with the lyrics, usually like I have a whole bunch of like quotables from the lyrics, and I don't have a lot of quotables. I don't know. I think, Ayman, you said something earlier about like not knowing what anyone is saying. I think because of the translation, the lyrics didn't the lyrics made sense, but they didn't make sense logically to me, right? So I get that this is about home, this is about longing, this is about connection, seeing as they are from all over the world. But I didn't get like a good like it wasn't very cohesive to me, and that for me that's totally okay. I don't have to understand the lyrics logically every time to feel it. But I did want to point out that like right in the first verse, the guy made like a Michael Jackson reference, like Annie, are you okay, or something like that, and I was just like, okay, like that's cute. I love the soft pop feel. The vocals were very, very affected, but it wasn't intrusive, it wasn't invasive. I thought the colors were interesting. I thought that it looked like they put all the Norwegians in like light colors. And it made me think of like, this is probably not the right country, but it made me think of IKEA. And even just like that like Northern European, Scandinavian, like architectural, like cleanliness, you know, and maybe that's not even the right word, but against the backdrop of a set that looked very much South Asian, very ornate. The contrast for me, I saw the contrast and I thought that was really interesting.
I didn't think about
Those
that.
are my thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's very interesting point, Billi. I mean, I feel like Ali, I mean, as a filmmaker, because like initially I was mesmerized by the shots, like the individual shots at the top of the video. It looked very cinematic initially, and I think like, you know, playing with the color contrast, like you were saying, you know, it's a filmmaking trick. So because like, you know, it's one thing to listen to the song just on your headphones without seeing anything. And then when you're watching, the video has to play, and the edit too. Like the edit adds like some emotional things, like when one of the vocalists like pops in, or when the Egyptian guy like comes in with his like little chorus. You know, all these elements are contribute to the overall feel of the song. But I was wondering what you're thinking, Ali, in terms of, you know, being a filmmaker, how they approached it.
I think the first thing that comes to mind is jealousy and envy. If you look at the credits of this song and the YouTube link, it's eternal. You know, it's a dream. You know, so there's so many people here, right? And they're all lit properly with the camera moving. Light never fades on these people. You know, how many people are responsible and for choreographing this thing and lighting this thing exactly right? How many people, like, there must be at least a crew of 30, 40 like people just fixing the lights as these people are running through their, you know, and then like you've got so many people in there. I you know, so envy is like the first thing that comes to mind. You know, it's beautifully done. It's a dream. Everybody has dreams to like shoot or create video, right? And tell a narrative. People who are filmmakers anyway. But in order to do it right, given these tools, it's magical. It truly is. And then on top of that, you've got people dedicated to, and it shows because they really clearly saw this, you know, to like taking local cultures and being sensitive to them and absorbing them, and not, so it feels organic, right? And it feels so smooth. So it's appreciated. It's definitely appreciated. Piya, by the way, is just, how would you, it's just a word for my love.
Yeah, it's a term of endearment, I guess.
In many languages in South Asia, in Central Asia, up until Iran too. You know, but they're saying it in Urdu, and Urdu is a conglomerate of all these languages, right? So it's like a throwback.
But then they
Is it
follow
like
it with the English word.
like Habibi in Arabic?
Habibi. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. I suppose that would be a good synonym. across languages. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I kind of. Oh, sorry, I
Okay,
interrupted.
go on.
No, I objected to these. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ayman's gonna be in the next like court drama. That's his next
And
movie.
then
No, I just wanted to follow on with what Billy said at that I agree with you that I think the lyrics, I think they I was kind of lost in it too. I'm not exactly following. I guess I get the gist.
Yeah.
Even though, and even with the Piya Piya calling, I think there is more to it than we are getting with our comprehension of, I would say, about 2 languages in all of this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think there's maybe even more of a play on words. But again, I love that. Like, I'm trilingual, right? Like, I love it. I love the way you can say things and it, like it doesn't translate properly. Like, you just have to know the language to get it. So I don't mind, I think. And yeah, I feel like what the Karpe's bit in here, I feel like so I think what is his name? Magde is the one who sings the line of Ajnabi, which is also a word. It's the same word in Arabic as it is in Farsi and Urdu, and that also resonates. And I think it's something that they sing about in Norway, like their experience, right? As like either immigrants or children of immigrants or second generation immigrants. And I think, their music is not just pop. I think it has a lot of like, meaning behind it. Like, so I feel like they're bringing it in a little bit that way. So that's just what I'm taking from the lyrics. I didn't really follow it from A to Z.
I think that's why they ended up at Coke Studio, just because they saw there's a universal sort of narrative of people of, I don't know, the developing world, the diaspora. They're part of, these people are Norwegian, right? They're representing Norway, but like they don't look like Norwegians, The quick
so
style
exactly, and hence the Ajnabi. He's saying they called me Ajnabi.
Yeah.
So they call me a foreigner, but I don't care.
On top of that, quick style, all these people are from different ethnic backgrounds, except for 2 of these quick style dudes, which were actually, typical looking dudes. The rest of them are like from different like parts of the world. That's what's interesting.
Well, and I think that's like how the also shows how the reach of music across borders. I mean, for me it was the opposite, right? Because like they're in Norway, but they're playing their native heritage type of music, while I grew up in Egypt and I was playing heavy metal, which is like totally not related to my environment. But that's how music crosses lines and crosses borders, and so I feel like that and I really liked how when they started the video, they started on individual singer, like it was like everyone was singular,
isolated. Yeah,
they started coming together as one, in one entity. So I thought that was very beautifully executed.
As far as this is all sung live. All these Coke Studio songs are sung live. That's why they're holding mics, which is weird. And nowadays, music videos, that people don't do that. And as far as the modulated voice comment, it did sound a bit accurate in the beginning, but after watching the second part of the magical journey, it turns out that's what the woman's voice is. They claim this is it, and they claim the Egyptian guy's voice is exactly that way. I'll take them at their word, but it did sound like
it was a little
probably their voice, but it was mixed in a particular style. Maybe there's not like auto tune like flat on there, but and I listened to Amanda, I listened to her in the Magical Journey in the BTS, and she does have like a higher register, like softer voice, but I don't know.
It was a
I
little
think
bit.
it's
I'm
mixed.
not saying
Yeah,
I'm not an audio engineer, so
right, yeah. I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing with whoever
no,
said
but I'm
that
agreeing
in the
with you.
BTS.
I'm casting doubt because I'm not entirely sure if that claim is true, is what I'm trying to get at, I guess.
So does doing that help people sound similar? I'm just
It
asking.
can, I think, for me, like audio mixing allows certain tones to come out of the voice to be heard, but it also allows you to understand the words more. If you mix in a certain way, you can understand the words are more enunciated, they're more pronounced. So, I mean, these were not English words, so I don't know. But for me, that's when my voice goes through mixing, that's what it does.
Okay.
Well, there's also the possibility, I mean, I'm just going to put a Hollywood spin on it. I mean, there's always the possibility that like it was recorded live with their natural voices, and then like in the edit and the remix of things, they, you know, add some effects
In post.
on it, you know, in post.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that is what it would be, you know.
Also, shout out to that Kaifi Khalil, the man singing in Urdu and Balochi. He's like in his early 20s, I think, possibly, and he sounds like he's been around for 70 years. The voice, you know,
Mm.
I thought his voice was really interesting. It always has been to me. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Ali. Have you noticed like any accents in their when they were talking in their native languages?
Yeah, Urdu sounds to me more. Let me see if I can articulate it. If you're familiar with what auto tune sounds like, as opposed to when somebody's singing, I can tell in that same way. Like that Urdu sounds like more sweet and auto tune, for lack of a better word. It kind of it's rounded. It's got rounded edges.
Mm.
Balochi and other languages, by contrast, they're like hard syllables, like ka,
Mm.
ha, ooh, he, ha. You know, I'm sorry for Balochi speakers or Punjabi speakers or Pashto speakers or Sindhi speakers or Arabic speakers. Urdu has like, so I've discussed this before in the program, but Urdu basically took from like I think 21 languages, including Arabic and Berber, and including South Indian languages, including Central Asian languages and Farsi and Hindi and Sanskrit, because they had the Mughal Empire had like all these generals under them. They spoke different languages from all these different countries or different regions of the world. So over a course of like 200-300 years, they got the best, most formal versions, iterations of all these languages to address these people, right? These hordes. Urdu is the Turkish word for horde, you know.
Yeah.
So my point is, Urdu sounds super formal, and Arabic speakers, Turkish speakers, Persian speakers, Central Asian language speakers, Mongolians even might be able to recognize some of it in some shape or form. Balochi, for example, is a local language from the region. It's indigenous, and I could definitely tell it just sounds different to me. It's got, and if you listen to it enough as opposed to Urdu, you'll be able to tell too.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I asked is because the Egyptian singer, his Arabic had an accent to it. Like you could tell he's not a native Arabic speaker.
Wow, I think he's half Egyptian.
Okay.
Yeah, he's half Norwegian, half Egyptian. They said in the BTS.
Yeah.
He's dressed like a Moroccan, which is interesting.
I also like another thing they do with these. Sorry, did you have something to say?
No.
You took a sharp breath. You're like,
No.
another thing what they do in these videos, I mean, the whole part of the platform is like they take they highlight local cultures and local, because that's how they tell stories in local cultures here in Pakistan. Instruments play a big part. So most of these songs have these like instruments of yore getting their own like little solos. And at like
Yeah, 315.
3:15, what
Yeah,
the hell is that?
what is that?
Guys like using chopsticks and like hitting some strings, and the strings have like three quarters. What is this? Any
We
ideas?
were wanting you to know what it was. No idea. It again, it reminds me of a kalimba. You know, the the finger gourd. But I have no idea. It looks amazing. And I don't even know how it sounds. Really didn't spotlight the sound in the song. They
Yeah.
just like put the camera on it and then took it off. So
Yeah. Yeah.
listening audience, if you know what that is, we would love to know.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't noticed it, but sounds close to is it like a harpy type of instrument? Like
Yeah, but
a
the guy's not touching it. He's got these sticks,
ah,
curvy sticks. Why are they curvy? No one knows, you know.
okay.
I don't know. It's such a gentle looking way of playing it.
It kind of looks like a zither, but not.
Hmm.
Perhaps. Well, yeah, that's all I got. I have to listen to it 50 more times because my toddler and my infant loves it. My kindergartner and the toddler can't even talk, but he wakes up, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of music.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of replay value. That it's really catchy.
It's got 12 million
12 million.
views. Came
Wow.
out 3 weeks ago. These are just YouTube numbers, but I'm sure TikTok and other places have a lot more views.
The Norwegian band is already like very popular, so I mean they already have their built-in
Yeah,
audience in Scandinavia.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, these I was just checking on these guys. They're always like a contender for that Euro bullshit nonsense that happens every year. What is it called?
Eurovision,
Yes,
Eurovision.
not Euro bullshit nonsense. Eurovision guys.
That's the Euro bullshit nonsense is a different festival. It's
Well, that's all we got for today. Thank you, Ayman and LadyWUF. It was a pleasure. Pleasure hearing people talk for once and not just talking myself.
I still think you talked a lot.
I'm sorry about that.
Please apologize on your own video for showing up and talking.
With that being said, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions or requests, leave them down there in the comments. Thanks again for joining us, guests, and Billi. Till the next
A
time.
pleasure.
Cheers.
Thank you for
Ciao.
having.